Back at the bottom of the ocean, and I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
Somebody who's never been around a horse who's scared of horses.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
There's a lot of tough talk on Twitter, but there's not a lot of real talk.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy. Had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, you said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Break them off some. Yeah. Oh, God, what a day. How are you guys and gals doing? I gave... today's someone's birthday. And so she's not here today, so it's kind of a special moment. So let's everybody wish Mom a happy birthday. And so happy birthday to Mom. She normally rides a shotgun in the gunner seat as well. And she is currently hanging out and enjoying some refreshments with one of our former guests that we've had on WTF Nation Radio. And she'll be sending pics. We'll be seeing, you'll see some pics that we'll post on the station and all that. So again, thank you all. Real quick note. Actually, no, this is not going to be a quick note. This is going to be a request. Now, you guys have noticed already that we have posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio Be on the Lookout For, which is basically a bolo with what you see. There's a Fort Benning soldier that's currently missing. And I'm going to post this picture up so that way everybody can see across all our platforms live right now. We have a kid that was missing. And the 4th Ranger Training Battalion is seeking help in locating a soldier who went missing on Sunday from Fort Benning. Specialist Jared Ziem departed his home about 12:30 p.m. to sign in for work, leaving behind his phone, his wallet, but taking his military ID according to his wife. 4th Ranger Training Battalion has asking anyone with information about this missing soldier's whereabouts to contact their staff duty office at area code 706-544-6980, or you can drop a message into the WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments inbox if you have any deets. His spouse said, quote, "I'm worried that since this is Jared's first Father's Day that we have had plans today to celebrate, but no one has seen him. I've driven around for an hour and a half, and his chain of command is also concerned." So Jared Ziem never signed into work, according to his wife, and he drives a 2008 red Corolla with black front and back bumpers. He withdrew about $200 from the couple's joint account before disappearing, and a call for help and locating the missing soldier was boosted over Twitter by Major General Patrick Donahoe, commander of the Maneuver Center Excellence at Fort Benning. Jared Ziem was last seen wearing a tie-dye shirt, flannel pajama pants, and is traveling in a 2008 red Toyota Corolla with license plate Alpha Yankee Tango 1142. If you have any information, of course, feel free to call that staff duty. Again, it's posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments, and it's posted on WTF Nation Radio. Major General Donahoe did also retweet it as well. His disappearance has followed several cases similar to last year, and to include which shined the light on soldiers disappearing and how the Army categorizes as missing troops. And under the new policy, by the way, commanders must determine a preponderance of evidence that a soldier's absence is voluntary before they can classify the soldier's status as AWOL. And this new policy is intended to ensure that the Army puts as many resources to find missing troops as possible. So, that's from Adam Maury from the Military Times. And we have been in contact with Fort Benning. The main page has, and as well as I have personally. And just a real quick message from General Donahoe is that we are actively looking for him, and we are praying for a positive outcome. So, Jared, buddy, if you're listening to us, man, give us a buzz. Give us a call at 415-889-8367, or return to your duty. Contact your family immediately, bud. If it's something you need to handle, man, we can walk this in. Jared is from the 4th Ranger Training Battalion. And he is a specialist. Again, missing since 12:30 on Father's Day. So, sorry, I didn't want. I had to put this out. Important information, and we gotta make sure we take care of our fellow troops and our comrades. It's hard to start off a show like that, but you gotta kind of do it, because if you don't, then I feel bad. I feel bad even starting the show like that, but it has to be put out. So again, we've been in contact with the chain of command at Fort Benning, and they outstanding outreach from the PAO and the chain of command out there. So again, we'll hope for the best. Anyways, so how was your guys' Father's Day? Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, all the dudes out there. That's pretty cool. I hope you all had a good Father's Day. I had I went on a Father's Day run, and then which, woo, buddy, I need to go on more runs. Wasn't really as much as I thought it would be, but I guarantee it, I'm gonna have to go on some. Man, the retired life has been getting sitting on me. It was a decent little run. It even had some had some kind of brunch, Father's Day brunch, which was pretty cool, and then capped it off with a night at B-Dubs. So Christopher says, "Happy not the Mama Day." This is going to be controversial, what I'm about ready to say, but I'm kind of torn. You guys tell me in the comments. Is it okay when people start jumping in on Father's Day? I don't think it is. I think Father's Day is Father's Day, and that's it. Whether you have one dad, a stepdad, two dads, it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. I don't know how we could get around the English language by saying Dia de Padres or Father's Day. I don't do that shit to Mother's Day, so I don't understand why there was a lot of discourse, a lot of people freaking out, going, ooh, hey, dropping on that shit. A bunch of memes being posted about people all of a sudden just jumping on, saying oh well, we have other people. Father's Day to me is, you guys saw Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And you saw what was his name? Wandu said that he may have been your father, but he definitely wasn't your daddy. There are individuals within the military and in society that fit right into that mold. I mean, it's just the way it is. And a father, good question. A father raises the kid. It's kind of like dad, father, somebody who is supposed to be there. If you're the father, it shouldn't matter. Take it with a grain of salt. Exactly. If I hear someone said, well, it should be celebrated for this, I'm gonna tell you what. My father, the man who raised me, wasn't my bio father. My bio father passed when I was really young. But it's one of those things to where it's not the individual who is a dad role model. It's hard to explain to some individuals, and it is. And people like to try to, how do I say this? Pick pepper out of fly shit. I always say that. But if it's Father's Day, it's Father's Day. Let it fucking happen. Praise the kings who have able to raise their children. If you're a deadbeat dad, I suggest you fix yourself. Or hang out with other men that are a positive role model to you, so that way you can. I feel like I'm going back into a manly minute right now, like I used to do. You're a positive role model, and you have a friend of yours, a dad, a father, who's not fulfilling their responsibilities as a dad. Then help them. You can't really sit there as a man and say, well, yeah, whatever. Nah, not whatever. It's your responsibility. That's how you raise king and queens. If you're a single dad, I've been there before. If you're a single dad, then you raise them. If you co-parent with a divorced and your family's divorced, focus on the kid. Don't focus on your ex. That's how you know your ex still has you. That's how your ex knows that he or she has gripped you. And if you're a mom and you have some issues with the father of your child, then I totally understand, especially if that individual is abusive, if you want to not have the individual. But if they're not, sometimes a lot of individuals will take out their grief and drama that they had on their spouse and put it on their kids, which is wrong as fuck. And exactly that, Gary. You'll know if you're a father, and you know if you're a deadbeat. How many stories do we get in the inbox about parental alienation? It's when it's because of another parent is manipulating the child. Sometimes you as a man, and I'm talking about father stuff here now. I'm giving father advice here. Sometimes as a father, you just have to be professional and a lot of this shit, and just suck it up, swallow your fucking pride, and deal with it, so that way you can see your child. I understand it's gonna fucking suck, unless you have a method of, or you can afford to get a lot. Courts these days aren't gonna see the fact that you truly love your child. The courts are gonna see you fucking going off by screenshots and text messages, or you being recorded, not realizing you're being recorded. It's a sad fact of life. Don't be a dick and alienate your child over, or say it's their mom's fault or whatever. Have you ever made comments or something like that in front of the kid? And now, of course, I'm talking about divorce and shit. I'm talking about guys who are going through custody. It's hard. It sucks. It hurts. Especially when you have other individuals that are involved trying to tell your children what to do or how to feel and all that. It's not really their place. It's raising the child is between you and the mother, if you're a man. The way I see it, I mean, man, I'm being descriptive as a man, not, physically as a man. But if you go through a divorce and you have to pay child support and all that, dude, fucking be responsible and provide for your child. You can fight the legal stuff away from not involving your children. And that's a lot of reason why people on Father's Day have a lot of issues with that. Again, not disclosing and not discounting anything about what single moms do or what moms do. I'm just talking about dads here. Dads, drop the bullshit. I'm not talking about it again. I'm not talking about it. And there's no, how do I say this? There's no fucking templated or a conventional divorce. There's no such thing as that shit. There's always going to have lawyers and judges and psychologists throwing drama to contribute to the fucking conflict. Because technically, if you just do things by yourself on your fucking own, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure your divorce or your custody battle won't really be a battle. But outside parties are the ones that make it fucking worse. You have friends and you have individuals that will sit there and say, "Hey, I think you should get more." Or you didn't deserve that time because he or she's an asshole. I've seen that work both ways with families and in divorces where I've seen, the mother get, I would consider probably less fair fucking custody as opposed to the man, and vice versa. I've seen a guy just fucking be a total dick and get more custody than the wife or the ex-wife or the mother. And I'm like, dude, that's and I would, dude, that's their mom. That's their mom. It's not a power play. The divorce case, the divorce is already said and done, and you don't have to sit there and be an extra dick to do it. Pip, listen to the man. He has 15 divorces under his belt and mentored his Joes. Man, bro, it sucks having. I was just speaking to a friend. I'm glad you brought that up. Speaking to a friend, and I asked, we're just shooting the shit. Hey, man, just catching up. Friend of mine that I've known for years, for, decades, in the soft community and all that. And I've not, me and him were both in the same unit together before, we went our separate ways and we PCS and all that. And he said, yeah, man, hey, what have you been up to? What's going on with this? How you been? Blah, blah, blah. We need to catch up. We need to get some beer, blah, blah, blah. And hang out with the family. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so sure, yeah, let's go. Well, hey, what are you doing? Let's link up, catch up with me and so. And I'm thinking, is that the same so-and-so from so-and-so? He's like, yeah, dude. Holy, dude. To me, if you make it work out like that, that's fucking awesome. I always admire couples that can do that. That can manage to sit there and stay for a long period of time in their marriage. That could, you see the old man and old woman, and they freaking, they're all, I've been married for 55 years, and they just hit it off, right? I think about that when my friend, it just kind of like, wow, because most members in the soft community, we don't keep marriages, whether it be you or whether it be the other, and it doesn't matter. It's not a. But there is a lot of conflict in that type of lifestyle. Well, even in the military lifestyle too. I just think it's awesome. When he said that, yeah, I mean, Me and her have been together for this long. It's like almost fucking 20 years he's been with this. That's to me, that's awesome. You're not supposed to be fucking, a squirrel and try to move shit. You're not supposed to be, I don't have to fucking do this bullshit and squirrel. And then be distracted by the next big thing that you think is the next big thing. Look at Jennifer. My buddy wanted to give me advice once he had 9 divorces. Man, that's a lot of divorces, dude. Well, see, that's the thing. If he's I thought I was the only Civil War vet around. My dearest Jessica, apparently us isn't the only Civil War vet around. I kind of like, I don't know, it's give or take, man. I mean, how do you take, or how do you give advice from somebody who has a bunch of divorces? Would it be like somebody who has a bunch of deployments or life experience? Look at, perfect example. Look, maybe he was a romantic. Yeah, you ain't lying, Gypsy. You ain't lying. Maybe he was a romantic. That's awesome. Like I said, you never know. I'm amazed at friends who did 20 plus years in the Army and worked hard to stay married to their first. I hear you, Jorge. I totally fucking hear you, man. I hear you. I usually give the advice to individuals when they say, hey, I've got this going on, I got this going on. And due to the fact that I have a wide range, I even call myself a divorce enthusiast sometimes, just joking around. I'm not perfect. I mean, look at Ben Affleck. Look at, that's a good point. Look at Ben Affleck. Look at Ben Affleck. That dude got ghosted by Jennifer Lopez. Right? They were hitting it off and all that stuff, and then joink, gone. She said, see ya, squirrel. Saw that the grass was greener, right? Chat through like a couple other relationships in between that, right? The next thing you know, you see pictures of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck back together again. Quoted, she even said herself, he was the one, I thought he was going to be the one that got away. Holy shit. That's some powerful shit. To get ghosted like that. And you could tell after that happened, that relationship that those two were in, you could see Ben Affleck, you saw Ben Affleck memes and shit of him smoking cigarettes or fucking having a dad bod or just looking, just not looking like, I don't want to say like he's happy or like it did it or something. Krista says that won't last either. What, them coming back together again? I know it's hard. I know that statistically people say that there are statistics out there that when a divorce goes through, or when a breakup happens and then you go back, it gets pretty rocky because there's like an expectation of living the good old days or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to fucking say. All I know is that she went from the grass is always greener and would have, should have, could have, I think I'm going to do this and jump, and then, ghosted Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck is just like, yeah, seeing where it goes. I don't know. I don't know the deets. Then. And Gary says it's a tough job not only for you, but the significant other. Not all can handle it. They think they can when they get into that, but yeah, you're right, man. Christopher said if you have like something like 10 divorces, something's going on, you might want to reevaluate the quality of these women. When you're getting yourself to, whoa, hey, what do you mean the quality of the women? What if it's you? Is that some people always, some little self-reflection. What if it's you? Guys, how come you have so many ex-wives? Because they couldn't go with me on a deployment. I don't know. I'm just joking around, but I'd rather be single and at peace than being in a toxic, unhappy marriage. That's good. That's right. Working things out when it comes to something like that. Is it matter? Instead of just saying, fuck it, I'm going to fucking toss it and whatever. Maybe the lifestyle or something like that, or the specific goals, or impatience from either couple, from either member of the relationship. And go back to the dad part. What you may want at age 20, was Holly saying, hey, you may not want at age 20 is not what you want at age 30. You may not want age 30 is not at age 40. Yeah, but you know what? That's a good point, Holly. But there are individuals that are of those ages that still think they're fucking 20 and are trying to recapturing some days they probably didn't have. or just decided to fuck it after the first portion of freedom, decided to just roll on through. You never know. Again, it's very, shit. What was I doing in my 20s? I think let's see. Oh yeah, I was in the army. Let's see, what was I in the 30s? Yeah, I was in the army. In the 40s, I was in the army. If anything else, people are going to be like, damn, why you just don't want to do shit or something like that? Did you want to do something else? It's a hard pill to swallow for some that it could be you in the relationship. It could be you as the problem if you're having so many marriages, guys and girls on that one. Because like I said, it was just squirrel. If you're not really committed and you see something you think is going to be the grass is always greener, or I hope, or maybe, and you think someone's going to just be like they're waiting on you or something like that. Squirrel! That's usually what, how military marriages sometimes work. But again, like I said, my friend, when he said, hey, me and so-and-so are, doing this, you need to catch up and you need to hang out and get some dinner and we can have some beer. And I'm thinking, holy shit. So mad props to you, brother. He knows who I am. He listens a lot. That's awesome. I do really, like I said, I do admire people who can make it last. Or try to make it last. Obviously, if you just can't do it and all that. Now, back when I was saying about when it comes to the kids, that's where a lot of individuals, when you get to that breakup phase, and you got to deal with the kids. Now, if you're rocking and rolling as a and there's nothing wrong, you have no marriage issues, and but this doesn't apply to me. I see already people just kind of like, then it doesn't apply to you. It should. Well, I mean, I guess just be a dad, be there. Hug your kids tight, because I guarantee they're gonna grow. Especially you new fathers, they're gonna grow. You're gonna be like, holy shit! I look at that with all my kids, all my children's. I'm like, man. I got pictures on my phone of the kids when they were babies and videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And now they're looking at me, telling me to go, go telling me to shut up. No, they don't tell me to shut up, but they'll sit there and like they'll talk back. They're like, it's time to go to bed. Why? Do I have a choice? Literally, baby asked him, do I have a choice? I'm like, what did you just say? He's come on the show. He's walked in while I've been broadcasting and interrupted the show because he just didn't want to be in his room. Got a damn teenager. Ariel Salazar says, anyone on touch of this Macy topic, she wants to change the flag to 52 colors. Oh, yeah, we can. I'll touch it. I'll touch it. Hell yeah, I'll touch it. We're still talking about Father's Day, the Father's Day drama, Ariel. Well, I'm talking about the Father's Day drama. Why don't you tell me what you think about it, and then we'll bounce back. How about that? We'll bounce back forth on that one. But again, I mean, if you're a dad and happy-go-lucky marriage, everything's going right, understand it's going to be rocky at some times, and you hang in there. Do the dad thing, be there, support, help. I don't understand why guys think that they fucking just have to sit in their asses on the couch. No. You're good, Ariel. You're good. You are good. I'm solo tonight because it's Mom's birthday, so she's off. So I can kind of just like wing it because she usually they kind of keep me straight on what to talk about. But yeah, I don't mind. Don't sweat it. We can talk about that subject. We'll talk about it in a minute. Are you my daddy? Things you never say. Basic training for 1,000. There was an individual in here, Gordon, who was, God, I can't remember this kid's name. I would talk about duty stations, and I was talking about a long time ago. It was, I don't know, about a year or so ago, 2 years ago. And I was on air, and you guys might remember, for some of you older listeners on there, and this kid literally was at duty stations where I was at back in the day, and the times and days matched. Just everything just kind of matched up on things, locations, times, just kind of like, just kind of like, you want to talk about like really freaking tripping out. That's what I was like, oh shit, And then he even said, "Dad." I'm like, I got like, oh shit. Yeah, I was kind of sweating it too, because I'm like, hey, if I got a kid out there and I want to, and I didn't know about, then I got a child out there that I didn't know about. It is your duties. It is your duties as dad. Was it Jesus? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But again, I just think again that freaking I just think that the Krista will now. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chats right here. Exactly that, Krista. How do you think I felt? No, Jesus like God. Oh, no. No. Oh, man. Yes, good thing I wasn't. Good thing I'm not drinking without spank because I would run out of material. Nah, Corey, I'm good. I'm actually just drinking. It was warm today. So we're talking about, oh yeah. So again, you got a happy-go-lucky marriage. Everything's going good. Of course, you have a stable marriage. No reason, no drama to have concern. Be a dad. Be there for your kids. When your kids make that crayon drawing for Father's Day, hold it up and lift that child up and be thankful that you received. Act like you received text from the Masonic Bible or the Gutenberg or like the Ark of the Covenant. Those crayon rendering drawings forever. Well, I still have them from my oldest, and she's in her mid-20s. And I was like, look at this. And she's like, I can't believe I drew it like that. But yeah. I have 4 fur babies, and my hubs is doing a fabulous job for. Okay. Well, I mean, some individuals you feel that, you feel like your dogs or your family. That's, I can see that. But children, man. Woo! You gave your dad a mug that said "Number 1 Dad." That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Again, but going back to the single dads, just pay your child support, call your kids, be frequent in that. With technology nowadays, if I see your ass on Facebook all the time and then you wonder why you never get in contact with your kid, yeah. If I see you always on Snapchats or on the Instagrams, or I see you on the Tickety Talks, and you're saying, I never get to see that. Because you're not, who's also seeing that? The kid's mother. And you can't sit there and say, hey, I'm making an effort to see my kid when you're always on TikTok. Jim said Father's Day was awesome. You got an outfit and a 9mm. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Ooh, man, big baller, Jim. Man, whoever sent you that. Woo! Bro, that's big baller money. So did you get a couple of sheets of OSB while you're at it? Krista, my kids are grown, thank God. Gary said receive some fishing lures and a couple of t-shirts. Best, exactly that. Even though she would use the lures. Man, look at that, Jim. I'm just impressed with Jim. Jim, you're big baller, dude. You are big baller. So, okay, now everyone want to talk about the Macy Gray stuff. Is you guys ready for that? What she said about the flag. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna call straight bullshit. How about that? She said she made a comment about the flag. She has proposed that the American flag be redesigned to represent the country's diverse population. I'm not even gonna post it. I'm not even gonna post what color what she wants to flag. Wrong. No, I don't think so. Wrong. She said this week that the American flag is in need of replacement, arguing that it's tattered, dated, and divisive and incorrect. An op-ed honoring of Juneteenth, which I hope you guys had a good Juneteenth as well, published Thursday on Market Watch, a Grammy Award-winning R&B and soul artist wrote, the American flag has hijacked as a code for a specific belief. God bless those believers, they can have it. Unquote. Like the Confederate, it is tattered, divisive, and incorrect, and no longer represents democracy and freedom. It's no longer representative of all of us, quote, she added. And it's not fair to be forced to honor it, and it's time for a new flag. And she is arguing that the flag should contain 52 stars, citing the continued lobbying efforts of Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico to achieve statehood. As far as the stripes, she said the Smithsonian documents that the right stripes represent purity and innocence and America great is beautiful, she wrote, but it ain't. It's broken in pieces. This is what she's saying. And what if the stripes were off-white? What if the stripes were stars were colors like all of us, your skin tone and mine, like the melanin scale? Unquote. No. There you go. I touched it. No, I don't agree. Leave the flag alone. That's it. The whole design of the flag was supposed to have been to be like that, to be unifying. And even, I like Johnny Cash's version of our flag. You guys see the flag? This old flag, that whole The ragged old flag is what it's called. And when he talked about it, if you guys see the song or the video, you should watch it after this. Just look up ragged old flag and video from Johnny Cash, and you'll be like, oh, you get the feels. Leave the flag alone. Hold it. I see a lot of people of color inside the chats saying leave the flag alone. You know, I rarely ever do this. This is like the second time. I rarely. Don't take this the wrong way when I fucking say this either. I never pull the race card. Everybody knows that I'm a person of color. I'm half Mexican, and I have family members that are from south of the border. The way I see it is the American flag is something that my family had rallied to become better. And I'm not saying that they weren't good. I'm just saying that they wanted a better life for themselves. When they migrated from the south, they wanted a better life, something to represent them for a new part of their existence, and they did so. Members of the military that my family have served, they'll tell you right now. Some of them listen a lot. I just don't feel that and believe it or not, the other half is white, and my white side of the family has accepted the fact that that is the way we are. That's the way I am. You know, there might be some little drama within the family, but that's because, if you guys don't know my family, just imagine a bunch of ice. My family pretty much has a little act to say from my brothers, my mom, everybody, even my cousins, and aunts, and I don't want to say we're assholes, but we just tell it like it is. It's not it's tattered for a reason, Gary. Exactly that. The video does get you, man. So as a family of immigrants myself, the symbol of the United States and the United States flag, the flag of the red, white, and blue, to me was something that my family used to rally on for a better life. Not for it to be changed. This family, specifically, it's all about family. It's something that we can rally, all of us can rally together. Red, white, and blue. That was it. That's all that needed to be said. I'm just kind of surprised that everybody didn't know what Juneteenth was about. Kind of knew about that when I was growing up. We all kind of knew that. Yep. So one of the lines, one of the lines, that you just got to listen to. You just got to listen to it. We raise. I'll just say one word. So we raise her up every morning. We take her down every night, so we don't let her touch the ground, and we fold her up. We fold her up right. On a second thought, I do like to brag because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. I'm probably gonna get what's I saying? Who's gonna be? I don't give two shits. That's the way I feel about it. You're not going to change my mind. And especially I don't need individuals, which is why I made the comment about white knighting and all that. I don't need individuals to speak for me on why I should think, or why they should try to convince me that I, as a person of color as well, should have the flag changed, because I don't think it should. And of course I'm going to have my fucking mentions and Twitters and all that going, oh, look at that, look at shit about this. I don't care. Macy Gray said that the flag is tattered, dated, and devices incorrect. I'll say it's tattered. I won't say it's divisive. Did you know that the Pledge of Allegiance is told at some schools in Spanish? Hey, the way I see it, they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Doesn't bother me one bit. Johnny Cash said when Washington took it across the Delaware, it got powder burned right the night Francis Scott Key sat watching it, writing, "Oh, say, can you see?" It got a bad rip at New Orleans and Pakenham and Jackson, tugging at its seams, and it almost fell off the Alamo. What are you talking about? It's not divisive. Opinion, of course. Anything stated on WTF Nation Radio is purely the opinion of the person that stated. And I'm going to say it. No, it ain't going to change. I don't think it should be changed. They're still doing that. Yeah, Ariel. There are some schools that do have the Pledge of Allegiance. Ricky says that the flag has always been attacked, and they're only trying to get you to change your attitude toward it. Remember the radicals. used to patch the seat of the black. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, Vietnam, the same thing. Flag burning and all sort of shit. Because you know what would happen if the flag were to be changed according to what Macy Gray wants? Someone else is going to say that that flag is wrong. And it's not going to stop. Everyone says it's got mixed erosions. You can't do that because I don't mix emotion with me. And to call it something or resembling like the Confederate flag, you could kiss my ass. Rebellious fucking traitors. That's what they are. They're red flag. How dare you fucking say that shit? The Confederate flag, I don't give a fuck about it. I don't. But to compare it to the Confederate flag, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't fucking think so. Yeah, Cajun. Oh man, straight up, Corey, I know. Definitely a minority. You are. Cajun peeps are minority. Didn't Didn't ICE date Betsy Ross? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, I did tell her she missed a spot. I mean, I wasn't. Oh man. Good one, Carlos. Good one. Now look. Here's the thing. All right, that whole woke shit. Here's what I'm telling you right now. First off, a lot of the platforms, if you say woke a lot or something like that, it will automatically like it'll like for right now, for some of the chats right here, some of the comments you might be making, Facebook, might be the algorithm might be telling you that, hey, it's gonna hide it. Believe it or not, we've had comments being hidden, and we would go back through the staff, and the staff would say, hey, look, guys, look at this. These are all these comments that Facebook is automatically hiding from what you say. Tell me what the definition of woke is. For real. I mean, there is the woke, agenda type thing, and I don't want to say agenda that people are saying, but that is, but the term woke, I mean, I just don't, yeah, exactly that, Gary. They're looking for that hot button issue to say that the American flag should, they just like that, exactly that, looking for publicity. But I talk to fellow veterans, I talk to members of the military, and they say these policies are woke and woke and wokety woke. And I'm thinking, okay, what is woke? What triggered you so bad to get you upset to say the word woke? What is it? I mean, I'm not clowning my friends. Trust me, I'm not. I just really want to know the definition of it, because to me, I look at the Army progressing, the military progressing in a lot of stuff that normally we would not be able to do back in the day, right? Integration, women serving, right? Or even allowed to serve. Let's see, segregation of the military forces of different areas. White officers were commanding black soldiers and all that. That's wrong, right? That's not woke. That's just like fucking, hey, we're fixing this. Equality, right? And then we get into LGBT, which don't ask, don't tell. I'll be honest with you, going back, me and Spanky have said this before, there have been members of the military, some, like I said, good friends of mine, awesome friends, bros and girls, boys and girls that come out and say, hey, I'm LGBT, and we're kind of like, yeah, and? I mean, some want to fundamentally change our whole country and family unit. Woke, to me, equals a mindset of people who think for themselves, but I'm probably wrong. See, that's the thing. Is it pushing an agenda on somebody? Is it pushing a belief on something, or just making you aware? And that's usually some of the questions that I always have for people to kind of like ask yourself when someone's telling you something. I'm not saying fucking, to change your mind on whatever, but and I'm talking about specifically in the military, when you hear a lot of people like, as soon as ponytails came out, people were going nuts. This is woke, wokety woke. Yeah, ask Ender about how it feels about being woke. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to him, by the way. See how he's doing. How you doing, Ender? But these are the same individuals, when they say having women with ponytails are woke, are the same ones that have women of foreign militaries with ponytails and braids up on their calendars. Or lusting, or like, oh, look at this girl, man. She's from Scandinavia. Oh, look at these Israeli soldiers. They have their ponytails. Look at this is hot. But as soon as fucking American women or U.S. forces have a ponytail, then all of a sudden, oh shit, oh fucking wokey woke. Just a question. It's just a question. Again, I don't want nobody to fucking get mad or get pissed off. These are just legit questions on some of it. It's something that has been allowed somebody to do something that they were not able to do openly and freely because our society is supposed to be open and free, right? Freedom of speech, yada, yada, yada. You know, without the First Amendment, you know, that's why we have the Second Amendment. Without the Second Amendment, that's why we have the First Amendment, yada, yada, yada. That type of shit. I'm using thought processes of other individuals that say that. Beards are woke. Are beards woke? That's a good question. I'm purely entertaining the masses right now. I don't think it's at all. MasterCard is allowing the members to put their chosen name on their credit card. Victoria's Secret is getting rid of the Angels, and Coke and other corporations are telling their corporations to be less white. This is woke. Okay, that's what caused. Okay, my chosen name on their credit. What is the? I don't understand what chosen name means. Now the Victoria's Secret stuff, getting rid of the Angels. That's the market. I mean that's the Victoria's Secrets. When you watch a Victoria's Secret video, and you watch the runways of the Angels. You know, the Angels, there were these women that were, you know, attractive women wearing the Victoria's Secret's latest models of fashion, spring models, and they had angel wings on their backs. And they would strut down the catwalk doing their thing, right? Guys and girls. Oh, man. I'll admit it. We talked about that shit. Didn't we have, I think we were going to have some Victoria's Secret's women models coming on there and shit like that. And now all of a sudden they're not saying, no, we can't have that. We can't have the, we can't have that. Because what you consider attractive, we want to tell you what's attractive. I'm sorry, but I'm just not attracted to some, you know, types of, you know, women. Just like anybody else wouldn't be any type of man. I mean, it sucks for the dudes, right? Unless you have six-pack abs or some shit. No, six-pack abs. Fucking, you gotta be what? You gotta be 8 feet tall. And what else? You have to, you have to be like a lawyer or doctor or some shit like that, right? And you're held to that standard. But God forbid a dude says something like that, right? Yeah, guys get. It's just a matter of man life, I guess you'd say. Dudes, we get fucking fat shamed left and right, man, don't we? When you're sitting there and you are walking down the street or something like that, or someone takes a picture or something like that, or someone comments on that. Look at that guy. The first thing everyone goes, "Look, you look like you neckbeard." Even we say it, you fucking neckbeard, and you fucking suck, you fat. You need to lay off the fucking donuts and yada blah 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 blah. Right? It's okay to do that to dudes, but the minute a guy says it. Jorge says, retired too long, dad bod set in. See, there's something wrong with that. You're just not going to, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you're out, you know, searching for a new mate, but if you were, and there are, there are a group of women, there's a percentage of women that like dad bods, then fucking hey, man, you're a superstar, right? But there's a percentage of women that don't like dad bods, and that's okay. Women, you can have standard, what you say are standards too, just like guys can. Sorry, Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe won't sell a lot of Victoria's Secret intimate wear. Is she in there? Is she? Hang on, let me see that. Let me see. I gotta execute Google search. Really? For real? Is she really in that shit? For real? Let me check. Victoria's Secret. Megan, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, she's in it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what Yeah, yeah, you're right. Holy shit. Yeah, I just according to Newsweek, well, not according to Newsweek, but in a Newsweek article, Victoria's Secret has been lambasted by conservative commenters for hiring a soccer star and LGBTQ activist Megan Rapinoe. Or Rapinoe. I don't know how to pronounce that. I want to make sure her name's right. Which is kind of funny because conservative commenters, what were you looking at? If you're so conservative, what were you looking at? TNA? Is that what it was? Were you getting some of the models that are on, so that are some of the Victoria's Secret angels were LGBT. Hey, dad bod is the standard, right? That's all I got. Exactly, Gary. Nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with improving yourself, too. Or not. Yeah, no shit. Holy crap. His browser history says, for research purposes only. Exactly. And then departure from the lingerie company, Rapinoe has become one of the most faces of the Victoria's Secret collective, along with the accomplished women. And let me see. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not attracted to any of them. Or, it would not be something that I would be. I'm not saying I go for looks anyways, but it's kind of like I have to know somebody, or I'm weird when it comes like that, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why conservative commenters are saying that. For people who are so conservative, that's not very conservative to look at, women in fucking underwear, right? Walking around fucking in lingerie. Is that what I'm getting at? Is that what it is? Or the fact that some of the Victoria's Secret's angels, I'm not saying all of them, some of them are LGBTQ. And they're saying that that's like the different type of LGBTQ, I can't even, I'm like stumbling over my words right now, man. LGBTQ. There you go. Thank you. But, God, that's not me, man. I'm not going to do it. Not going to, I really don't care about the Victoria's Secret stuff anyways. I can't, of course, I'm not bashing on Victoria's Secret. However, when I did see them, actually, some of my female friends have told me that some of the quality of the wear, anyways, is kind of I don't know, like second rate or something like that. Exactly that, Krista. Thank you, Krista. Thank you. Fat, skinny, it doesn't matter. There is somebody who likes that shit, and don't get butthurt when somebody doesn't like you or like that shit. That's well said, Krista. Fat, skinny, it doesn't matter. There is somebody who likes that shit. I should record that. WTF Nation Radio. Fat, skinny, doesn't matter. There is someone who likes that shit. The voice. You're right. I'm going to take a quick break. You guys have been fun tonight, so I'll stay on a little bit longer. So, be right back. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Nothing feels the same. Left it all behind.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Man. Holy shit. Yeah. I just like the song right here. I just want to hear it play out. It's an awesome song. Run the Jewels with Pomona. But anyways, drop the bass. Yeah. Part 2 of the Monday edition. U.S. Army WTF Moments. WTF Nation Radio was the Monday edition. Yeah. 21 June. 2021. Gosh, man. That's what we talking about. Man. So, talked about the flag. Talked about Victoria's Secrets. What else we talking about? We're talking about dads and parental alienation and all that stuff. Wasn't there something else that you guys wanted to talk about? There's something I saw in the chats earlier. Did I catch it? Mini rave. The dad bod. That's right. The expectation of what men should look like and what women should look like, right? If you're a good looking guy, chiseled, looking all studly looking, they say you look nice today. Would you get any shit for doing it? Unless you had a dad bod and you're like just struggling to breathe and you said that's a nice dress. Would you think you look nice? Would you get in trouble for that too? That's fucking. Oh man. But anyways. So what else is in the news? So let me grab some stuff right here. So apparently there's been some drama going on when it comes to the vid stuff, to the vid. Apparently, Jon Stewart went on the freaking Stephen Colbert show and kind of like, hey, where everyone's saying he theorized, right? And Jon Stewart's like, you know what? Did you know that COVID-19 originated from a laboratory in Wuhan, China? This was John. Now, mind you, a year of telling us what we should not or not believe in, where the Rona came from or not. Okay, look, all I know is the vid is there, right? So the nitnoid stuff. But there's a lot of people who were saying that, I don't know, if the epicenter of the vid is in Wuhan, China, then what you expect to to understand. So last week, Stewart appeared before Stephen Colbert's Late Show, where he theorized, of course, that's what the article says, theorized that the vid originated from a laboratory in Wuhan, China. Stewart praised the scientists for tackling the pandemic, but he added, they're going to kill us all. Dude, is this like some fucking conspiracy theory shit that's now coming out? Is this like some new shit? It's literally now everyone's like, shut up, Jon Stewart. Or Dan Rather, isn't the same guy that like said that he bragged about W service or something like that, or made some fraudulent documents back in the day, or some shit like that. Rather published a response titled "In the Defense of Science." Now, mind you, Jon Stewart has been the spokesman for ailments of 9/11 responders when the Twin Towers were hit by terrorists, and when they collapsed, the illnesses that came out of the dust and all that. Jon Stewart was like leading the charge for all this shit. Going off on Congress, telling what the fuck's going on. The same thing with burn pits. Now, Jon Stewart is now on that, bringing that back to the forefront. So he's kind of like the same thing too. So now everyone's like, Well, Dan Rather said that, you know what? Published a response titled "In Defense of Science." Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a shit poster. I'm a veteran. I'm retired. I done stuff back in the day that I'm like right now just whatever. And I like to think that I'm well, I don't know, well versed in a lot of shit. But if there's reports and findings from the Department of Justice or the reports from findings from people other than the freaking CDC or other medical personnel, you just kind of like this. It's kind of like the whole idea of like science, right? So Dan Rather says, I cannot, quote, overemphasize how dangerous this line of thinking is. It is true that some scientists have done some bad things in the name of research, such as the Tuskegee experiments. Scientists have been wrong. Science and technology have been the tools that supported colonialism and oppression. Science does not always release us from our moral responsibilities. All this is the case because science is a human endeavor and scientists are human, subject to the same frailties and basic instincts as any member of our species. But science is always a way of thinking, is also a way of thinking. We are where we challenge our own dogmas and beliefs, where we change our minds and approach when the data show we were wrong, wrote Dan Rather. I'm just quoting him right now, right? So he accused Jon Stewart of playing into the trope of mad scientist at a time when we need the scientists more than ever. He said warned that Stewart's joke had deeper implications because it gives clearance to those who want to dismiss the science and fear the reason. Now I'll tell you what, man. The VA's announcement, yeah, exactly. Practice run for the zombie apocalypse. and again, that's what I'm saying. It's not new. It's that we have had reports. As a matter of fact, we reported some shit before. Way back when all this thing first kicked off, and I'm talking about the first exposure, COVID evacuees. They were evacuating members of the State Department, and I get members of some members of not military, but some scientists. They landed like last year. Department of Defense uploaded footage of fucking coronavirus evacuees back in February of 2020. Planes carrying coronavirus evacuees from Wuhan, China. So it's in there. I don't want to drop it. Here's the thing. I don't want to drop the links to all that stuff because it's all over the fucking place if people start researching all this shit. But just link up. Planes carrying American coronavirus evacuees from China. Just Google that. And it's just like fucking serious. It's like normal plain Jane reporting. It's not a conspiracy theory. Voice of America News, Fox News, ABC News. Several organizations from medical news, they same thing. The Sun, UK. It was just, it was news. It was not a big deal, right? It's not a conspiracy theory when you see planes of people getting off the fucking plane. Like literally. Everyone's like, oh shit, I'm glad we're back. I'm glad everyone's coming back. And instead you see the plane, you see the 747 landing with like people in suits walking up to them, but people coming out of the plane not in suits, just spreading that shit out, just spreading that vid. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's fucking pictures right there. So Jon Stewart, he said that. Jon Stewart, like I said, he's been pretty exactly that. He's a celebrity that pretty much research. You're exactly that, exactly correct. He has been pretty good when it comes to researching some of the causes that he stands up for. Exactly that, Pip. He's one of the very few who researches things and is very outspoken. He was the one that ensured that the 9/11 first responders. He's right now talking about getting the burn pit stuff. Now, there's some things right now that kind of scare me. How not scare me, but concern me that that civilians are learning things that I didn't think a civilian would know about medical stuff. If anything else, I think this is kind of like interesting that everyone's gotten into epidemiology. Everyone's does that make sense? It's almost like it's everyone's now up and up on the science stuff. And everybody looks at old bottles and shit, and they're like, "Hey, those hand wash." I trust big time. Exactly that, Pip. I trust Jon Stewart a little bit more than CNN. So are we gonna get mad about that, or is that when we have? Hey, cool, yeah, here we go. You know. Hey guys, you know how powerful words are in the emotions. Exactly that, dude. We're all basically exactly. I was about to say, cause I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, so I know everything about viruses. I looked at my Lysol wipes that says it helps prevent the spread of human. If any of you guys got the Clorox disinfectant wipes, all of them, everybody right now, go look if you do have them. Look at the jug and look what it says. Read it through. It says is able to stop the spread of human coronaviruses. That shit's been on there for like fucking forever. When everyone was going through the fucking toilet paper / wipes, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I stocked up on these wipes. And someone was like, we don't know if it'll stop it. And I looked at the packaging and was like, let me see if it'll stop it. And sure as shit on the Clorox wipes, helps spread the coronavirus, human whatever. Holderhead says that I may not like some of the political views that Jon Stewart holds, but the man definitely is a crusader with knowledge. Love how he stood up when others at this level. Yeah, exactly that. You kind of notice that too. Did you guys see the clip? And we'll get in trouble. We'll get sued if we and some copyright stuff slammed on us. But Google it up. Googleizer it. Go up on YouTube and see Jon Stewart going off on Stephen Colbert's Late Show. Everyone's like, you could see Stephen Colbert kind of like going, yeah, dude, yeah, whatever. Kind of like, excuse me. Oof. I had some chicken today, chicken and rice. You kind of look at him uneasy. He's kind of like, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you like doing that. He's kind of like that uncomfortable feeling. No government would do anything about it. Exactly that, Biff. I got Clorox wipes that expired in 19 that says that shit. Exactly. Googly that shit. Google it. Google it. Now, the practices and stuff like that, getting vaccinated and all this other shit, that's a whole different little process. I've had friends, we've had friends and family members that have passed away from the Rona, and it is like no shit. So it's not like it's not like something that doesn't exist. And that's one thing I don't want you guys to take away from this is that ICE is on WTF Nation Radio saying that it doesn't exist. Now, I'm not saying it's not exist. There are some individuals that have lost their lives from the Rona. So it's like they're sick and all that. I don't know the stats. I don't think we're ever going to know the fucking stats of exactly what. I know it's not like New York and shit. You don't know if anybody's dying from riots or getting shot or the fucking Rona in New York. But again, it was kind of surprising to see Jon Stewart, talk about that stuff. Every time Jon Stewart says something, everyone's like, yeah, fucking A, Jon Stewart, yeah. And then Jon Stewart is like, wait, whoa, hang on. And he's not apologized either. He has not apologized to that shit. But anyways, so what's your take on that? Everyone's like dropping on your comments, and you gotta see that. Who said if it looks like shit and it smells like shit, it is shit. So this is the mortality rate for a reason. I'll be honest with you, and this does kind of sucks, man. There's some things. I mean, some of the pictures of the nursing homes and stuff, man. Fuck, that blows. Watching those families having to watch, their older grandparents or something like that having to separate themselves and be separated through the windows. Oh, that's just fucking gut wrenching, man. Because of their age and stuff, if they got the Rona, then fucking they would die, or their expectancy wasn't very high. So it's just like, fuck. It's just sad seeing that stuff, and of course all the nursing home stuff. All that shit, just that whole fucking thing. It's just like we just bamboozled the whole fucking thing. And I'll be honest with you, I don't give a fuck what everyone says about, well, Trump did this and Trump. Nah. Have you guys ever watched those movies where the government takes over shit? That's what I was gonna see. You ever watch that movie? What's that movie? I Am Legend, right? Now that I Am Legend's kind of, nobody turned into zombies. And everyone talks about this is the plague that, everyone's kind of disappointed in, that nobody, turned into zombies and all that stuff. But I Am Legend, right? Did you see how the government was starting to fucking round people up and cordon people off and that? That's what the government does. It has nothing to do with the fucking states. The states do their own shit. The states did their own shit. Is this something close to Jon Stewart's heart, or is he the high-profile celebrity that has taken up the fight? Pardon me for being cynical. I would feel better if Gary Sinise did it, but I'm grateful for the help, but I always look at him with side eye. Yeah, that's a good point, Cos. There's sometimes you don't know what angle he's coming from, but after the 9/11 testimony, 9/11's 9/11 syndrome or 9/11 disease, whatever you want to call it, you do, and then what he's doing right now for burn pits, he's kind of like, so far he's being 2 for 2 on the fight, and now he just mentions that. Of course, if they lock him up and fucking silence his ass, then that movie that was in Atlanta, you talking about the Walking Dead? Is that what you're talking about? And one movie, anyways. So I Am Legend. It was based on an older movie called The Omega Man, and I think it's about Omega Man. That's what it was about. I just want to make sure. I don't want fucking CQ is really when we go back and forth. We go back and forth. Yeah, the Omega Man. Okay, so you kind of see how the government, and of course Will Smith plays a character, the lead character, and it is one of those things where you see just how the government reacts. Like, you ever watch movies when anytime there's a contagion or something like that, how the government acts and all this other stuff? That's what the government would fucking do, dudes. It's not going to be no fucking, we're just going to discuss this and maybe have a lockdown or not have a lockdown. If that is depicting the high end of this, the high extreme end of the fucking containment spectrum when it comes to that stuff. I talked to some of my Seaburn folks, some of my buddies and stuff like that do that stuff, that do that, and they say fucking the states you can't even realize how much of lockdowns and stuff like that if the government had imposed it the way it's supposed to be done. But also, what was the lead character in I Am Legend trying to do? Trying to find a cure, right? Injecting himself with fucking everything to make sure he can get it, or injecting who he thought was his wife, right? So, yeah. But yeah, just that's kind of like, you watch that shit, you fucking see it. Like I said, I got friends who work part of the chemical reconnaissance detachment. I got friends who do that the chemical stuff that you didn't know chemical people do. And you're like, wow, you really do that stuff? Like, yeah, we do this, we do that. I'm like, holy shit, it's like the other side of not the ones that do USR reports, but the ones that actually do other chemical stuff, chemical reconnaissance and all that stuff, and containment and shit. And when Spanky, when she talks about, me and Spanky have deep freaking discussions about what would happen in a scenario like this, and it is fucking it is not what was said over the last year. Like, everyone was talking about the government overreach and the previous administration. No. Those were all the states. Because had the government really used that specific overreach for martial law, it wouldn't have looked like this. It would not have looked like that. The wildfire virus, yeah. I can't. All those movies where the military would take. That's what the military would do. So when people start going, well, the government's overreach, nah. Your state just sucks. I shouldn't say that, because some states had to do for population density and all that. I mean, I'm sure there was a walk, but I guarantee it that we're not going to know. No one's going to fucking know. No one's going to be able to tell you. I'm probably going to get fucking, dragged and all that. Oh, we're going to talking conspiracy theories. Well, do you fucking know? Did you sitting on your couch? I mean, I sit on my couch just like you do when you're couch surfing and shit talking. Are you, I will say this, depending on FEMA, and exactly that, Gary, FEMA practices in the worst case. They do exercise a mass contagion. So does Northcom and R North. Those are the organizations that will, and they've been doing an outstanding job. I will say this though, FEMA does kind of suck because Hurricane Katrina. You still have Louisiana. They've still not recovered from Hurricane Katrina. That kills me to see that shit. That dollar virus Cover me, Krieger. Exactly that. But anyways, yeah, I can go on and on about this stuff like that. People are going to be like, oh, you're just spouting conspiracy theories. Nope, just asking questions. Nope, didn't say one thing or the other. So. Let me see what else has got going on. What do we have in the news? What's in the news? What news we have going on that we can talk about that's not military related or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, well. I guess one of the other things is the last thing I'll take is we'll talk about the St. Louis couple. You guys remember the St. Louis couple that protested, and Mark and Patricia McCloskey? They pointed guns at protesters that were marching to a call for resignation in St. Louis last year. I guess what it was. Was it last year? Yeah, I think it was last year. They pleaded they pleaded not guilty? Or did they plead guilty? I'm sorry. I'm about to move back in here. They gained notoriety for waving guns at racial justice protesters last summer, pleaded guilty. I'm sorry. I thought they said not guilty. My bad. To misdemeanor charges and agreed to give up the guns they used during the confrontation. So they went out and bought other ones. The videos and photographs of the rifle-wielding Mark McCloskey and pistol-toting Patricia McCloskey in front of their mansion on June 28th captured the attention of the country, and then including President Donald Trump, who spoke out in defense of the couple. Trump and other Republicans considered the McCloskeys law-abiding homeowners, defending their property. Others saw it as their over-regressive towards protesters who were marching through the gated community amid nationwide protests after a police officer killed George Floyd. And the couple, both personal injury attorneys, face felony firearm charges in the menacing display. And many memes that we saw. We had a lot of memes that fucking day. We were busting memes. I mean, I think that was a whole week of memes when that happened. All the shows posted some hilarious fucking memes. Display in front of their marble-faced palazzo home, but ultimately pleaded guilty to lesser charges. So I guess they pleaded down. Patricia McCloskey, 61, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor harassment and was fined $2,000. Mark McCloskey, I think he's going to run for office now, pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor fourth-degree assault and was fined $750. And neither will face jail time, and because charges are misdemeanors, I didn't know brandishing weapons like that were fucking misdemeanors. Shit. Where's this at? Missouri? I just came from there. Damn it. I didn't know that. I'm going to drop some property fucking. Because the charges of misdemeanor, the couple can continue practicing law in Missouri. The couple has touted themselves as conservative defenders against the liberal mob, earning newfound celebrity status and speaking slot at the Republican National Convention. It's kind of like when you do shit like that and you're like speaking at Republican National Convention. Do you think they deserved it or not? Answer in the chats. In May, Mark McCloskey announced that he's running for U.S. Senate as a Republican, using the images from that tense face-off with protesters in his campaign ads. In a statement, he said unapologetically defending his reaction to what he called an angry mob that threatened his family and home. The prosecutor dropped all charges against me except for that claim that I put other people in imminent fear and physical harm. I'll be honest with you. Exactly. The court says, that's okay, I have more guns. The prosecutor dropped all charges against me except for the claim that I put other imminent fear of physical harm. You know, I did see poor weapons discipline and handling in that display, because they were flagging each other, waving that pistol around and rifle. I'm like, God damn, dude, one of you's gonna shoot yourselves. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what the guns are for. Anytime the mob comes and threatens me, I'll do the same thing and protect my family, unquote. And they were indicted by a grand jury in October on charges of unlawful use of weapons and evidence tampering, both felonies, and they could have gone to jail if convicted. St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, who charged the couple in July, was removed as a prosecutor by Circuit Judge David Mason after citing the case in campaign fundraising emails. So that's it. Okay, so. But anyways, we had videos. We posted videos. Everyone talking about them breaking in and shit like that. And that was a long time ago too. We posted videos. Everyone was like, oh, they broke in. And we had a video of somebody walking them in. It looked like somebody was walking them into their property. Nobody broke in. And then as we were watching it, we were doing like a blow-by-blow event of watching that stuff. And it just looked, it's kind of like, I couldn't tell. I don't know if anybody was being threatened or something like that, but they were walking on the sidewalk. From what the angle looked like to me, from what everybody else, they could be right. I guess. I don't know. I never had a mob come in front of my house and yell at me and shit before. So, and when that happens, I'll let you guys know to provide my own insight. But anyways, we're gonna do some house cleaning. Sorry, I gotta bring up the lemon pledge. I think Mom left her on here somewhere. Well, I'm gonna look at that lemon pledge right quick. Let's see. So housekeeping. Okay, so tomorrow, I'm really pumped because we're gonna have a voice actor who does, straight up, like legit. You've heard it, or your children's have heard it, or you may as a child have heard it. Rob Paulson is going to be coming on. And he's going to come on to shoot the shit with CQ, Pop Culture Warrior, of course, to talk about his experiences in voice acting in Hollywood. Some of Rob's work include Raphael and Donatello from 1987 and 2012 animated series, respectively. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My daughter, Princess Ice, loves the 2012 animated series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yakko Warner, Dr. Otter, Scratch and Sniff, and Pinky from Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and its spin-off television series, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Peck the Rooster from Barnyard and its spin-off television series, Back at the Barnyard. And Spike in the Land Before Time films and series, and the title character in The Mask animated series. In total, Paulson has been the voiceover for over 250 different animated characters and has performed over 1,000 commercials. He received a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Performer in an Animated Program and 3 Annie Awards for his role as Pinky. And then Friday Night Freedom, Rodney Henry is going to be coming on. He's going to be shooting the shit about the Freedom Fest that didn't have because of COVID, but now they're going to have it on July 3rd and on the 4th, and it's happening in New Richmond, Ohio. That's going to be cool in the greater Cincinnati area. He will be coming on to talk to Kaz and Pookie about how the Rona affected the cancellation of 2020's event and how it'll affect 2021's event and how things are starting to get back normal. So it'll be cool. And then on the 28th, which is the Monday edition, Darian Lay, fan of the page, fan of the station, country music singer Darian Lay will be on the Monday edition to talk to me about her latest single, 10,000 Miles, which tells the tale of military household and loved ones across the nation derived from her own experience. She's appeared, if you look up Darian Lay on country music television, and you'll see her right there. So that'll be it. That's great tracks. We're trying to get some of her music so that way we can listen in. We can post that out. But at any rate, what else? Oh, so in a couple of weeks, I got to do this so that way people are like, oh, we can do. In a couple of weeks, I'm going on vacation. Matter of fact, Cos. I was gonna say Cos. Spanky's going on a break too. So for about, I don't know, about a month or so, I'm gonna go on vacation and go do some traveling and stuff like that. And you'll be seeing snippets of vids from us and posting on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. However, this Saturday I will be on the Extra Duty podcast with those kids that were on here before, and I'll be doing a Saturday show. So you'll be kind of cool. You'll see it posted up, and you'll be seeing it shared on the main page. You'll see me, like I will be on cam, which I don't do on cam shows, but you'll see me. And then after that, I'm telling you, we're me and Spanky, we're taking a break. We're gonna take a break and do stuff. And again, we're not going anywhere. We're just taking a break. We're just taking some time off. It's been really, really busy since things started lifting up. And then Kaz and CQ will be doing some stuff. But again, you'll be seeing like little quips and vids and pics and stuff like that of things that be going. Because I'm gonna be traveling. I'm just gonna be going out and doing. I'm gonna go sit there and meditate on a mountain or something like that. Hell, you might even see me meditate on the mountain. Me and Baby Ice might be doing some hiking or something like that. Shoot a quick video or whatever. Spanky and some other fans are trying to get me on this freaking TikTok thing, and my daughters are like, do TikTok. But anyways, so with that, again, so in 2 weeks, so about the beginning of July, there won't be a Monday edition and there won't be a Sergeant's Time just because I'm having those. Damn it, Pip. I do have medical things happening, and Pip is like dropping like bionic legs installed and stuff. So, sort of, kind of. But anyways, yeah. But I mean, I'll still be around the community. I'll be bring Baby Yoda with me. I'll still be in the chats. I'll still be around the station doing stuff like that. But I won't be on there because I'll be mobile. I'll be doing some stuff and all that. So I'm fucking on vacation. Have you not been on vacation before? So take a vacation. Always take a vacation when you can. And July just happened to hit just right, so vacation time, stuff like that. And then, like I said, you'll be seeing the traveling, you'll be seeing the pics, and the same thing with Spanky. You'll be seeing her traveling too. You'll be seeing some stuff posted as well. So don't freak out and think that Ice and Spanky are like, oh, where are they going? Blah, blah, blah. So it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. So other than that, thank you guys and gals for tuning in tonight, and I appreciate all the comments. I mean, that's awesome because I like it when I do solo shows like this. I kind of feed off of you guys. So if you comment and make some comments in there, I got no problems talking about it. Of course, I got like all these comments flowing in the freaking... Oh, thanks, Corey. Flowing in the chats. So I totally appreciate all your guys' help tonight. And of course, don't forget to tune in tomorrow to Pop Culture Warrior and Michael Cotasquillo as CQ. And then Radar, the unpop cultured, I guess you could say. But he's getting pretty cultured, though. He does have some good opinions. I don't know. There's some stuff. I hope CQ talks about a topic tomorrow. And if I hear it, I'll just call in. I'll just call in. I think he knows what it is, but if I hear him talking about it, I'm just going to call in and provide my insight. Sorry. And then Thursday Sergeant's Time. This one Sergeant's Time, and then we have Friday Night Freedom with Cause and Pookie. But again, don't forget. Yeah, exactly that. WTFNR might be. Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's going on tour. You might see some pops here and there. You might be some pictures and stuff like that. Only, again, share, like, and follow U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio. Follow us on all the programs. Like right now, live, you're listening to me on the TuneIn app. You're listening to me on 2 Facebook pages, WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. Periscope or Twitter if you have that. YouTube, if you don't like using any of that shit. Or Twitch, if you're a gamer and you like to watch, I know some gamers like to have multiple screens up and they'll have their headphones on one screen or while they're playing a game. But other than that, thank you guys and gals for hanging out tonight. And, well, like I said, we'll see you later. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio. Oh, wait.
No. Not done yet. Again. My bad. My mistake. I was about ready to close up. Sorry about that. Surprise. Again, be on the lookout. Posted for Specialist Jared Ziam. Contact Fort Benning. We, like I said, U.S. Army Fort Benning, U.S. Army Garrison Fort Benning, the 4th Ranger Training Brigade. Call their staff duty at 706-544-6980. Again, be on the lookout for Specialist Jared Ziam. Please, Jared, if you're listening out there or you're not wanting to talk to anybody, hit us in the inbox. Shoot the shit with us. You got to get in contact with your family, get in contact with your unit. All right. So with that, y'all have a good night and shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Prepared for combat with an alien race, juking their asses right in the face. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.